Hey guys, welcome to a new video. Like, comment and subscribe if you enjoy. Without any further interruptions, enjoy the What If. Chapter 20 Ninja Clash in the Snow. Now with 40% more demons. Weapons were embedded and laid across the land. Bodies clad in samurai-like armor went laid stricken on the ground, pierced or slashed by an unknown weapon. It was dark and gloomy. The sun was covered by a darkened gray sky and a voice said in despair, "It's over, this is it. We have nowhere to go from here." It was a man with an ornate headband, kneeling on the ground with his broadsword into the ground. Another man said, "It was a foolish decision to make a journey here, doomed from the start." A third man, wearing makeup to have a ghost-like face, leaned against the tree as he said, "This is the end, we must turn back." Someone stood up from the ground. It was a strong-willed woman and she replied softly, "There is still a path, have faith, I know that we will find it." The second man protested, "But, princess," the princess turned firmly and said, "You mustn't give up." "Princess." The four companions heard a laugh and they all turned their head towards a man with a large white mustache complete with a beard. "Princess Gale, this is as far as you will go, you bastards." "Mao." The three men said in unison, "Don't tell us that this storm is your doing." Mao said nothing, but chuckled evilly as he watched one of the seemingly dead samurai rose up in attempt to kill the princess, but luckily she twirled out the way gracefully and grabbed her sword to perform a technique, blasting the samurai into oblivion. It was revealed that the samurai was only a spirit harboring inside of it, and the four heroes looked behind them to see that the rest of the samurai were rising up from the ground. "Give up, princess. Fall to your knees and bow to me," Mao declared out in a proud voice. "I will never give up. As long as I live, I will gather my strength and forge a path for others to follow," the princess declared as rainbow chakra covered her body like heated flames. "The princess," the second man said. "The rainbow chakra is ablaze," the first man said. "Brothers, let us light the flames of our chakra too," the third man said to the others, who both nodded in agreement. "Pitiful," Mao shouted as he swung in his staff to gather dark chakra at the prong point of his staff and aimed it at the princess, but it was blocked by the combined might of the princess and the three men. The dark chakra bounced off of the rainbow chakra shield to hit the samurai behind them, and with a loud cry, the princess shot a beam of the rainbow chakra toward Mao, who was caught in the blast and swung up into the air. The blast exploded in a bright light and magically cleared the dark sky to make the white clouds and a rainbow. Then the princess said, "Now let's push on, our fate lies beyond that rainbow." The movie ended and the spectators filed out. "Kakashi-sensei is late, again. So, what else is new, Sakura?" Sasuke said with an uncaring tone. Naruto said, "Well, that movie was a bit interesting, but I still say it needs a bit more kick to the whole thing. That princess was a good actor, but I don't think that she put any feeling in it." "Why do you say that, Naruto?" Sakura asked. "You can fool people with actions, but her eyes were holding something else, something tragic. I can tell those eyes from a mile away," Naruto said in a serious tone. "It's too bad that the movie ended. I wanted to rest my eyes on that handsome Michi, who played Sukekiro, for a little while longer." "So what am I to you, Sakura-chan? Your toy? Jealous?" she asked in a teasing tone. "Not really. He is not even competition to me. Can you tell by looking at this handsome face of mine?" Sasuke said, "But why did Kakashi-sensei tell us to watch the movie first before we got to our mission? We probably have to guard one of those snobby actors or actresses back somewhere or something. That is the only one that I can come up," Naruto said before he was interrupted by a sight of the woman who played the princess from the movie on a horse that jumped over the fence. The team moved away from the gate to see that she was being chased by some of the samurai actors. Naruto said, "Let's go, and try not to hurt either of them, we got to know what is going on." "Right," Sasuke and Sakura said. The princess on the horse galloped through the courtyard and one of the samurai signaled the men to take a shortcut and cut her off. The princess drew back on the reins to make the horse rear up while the samurai threw a net to capture her, but it was cut into pieces by Naruto, who held burial in his hand. The Jinchuriki knocked three of the samurai out while the leader of the group moved past him. "Don't let her escape." Naruto looked up and said, "So they are trying to capture her, but why?" He looked at the samurai and said, "I can't waste time here, Kage Bunshin no Jutsu." A clone appeared and Naruto said, Wake one of them up and ask about this, I will go after the princess. Meanwhile, the princess turned a corner and guided the horse to run down the stairs and do a jump. Two samurai took out glass bottles of oil and threw to make them land on the cobbled street in front of where the princess's horse was going to land. The horse slipped and made the princess fall off of the horse. The leader pointed as he shouted, "Get her!" The samurai leapt off of their horses to execute a dog pile on the princess, and the leader grinned in triumph as he said, "We finally captured her," but the princess came from on top of the dog pile and changed back into Sakura. "Huh, who are you?" the leader of the chase asked in surprise, but he didn't get his answer since Sasuke appeared on the back of the horse calmly and knocked the leader out with a chop to the back of his neck. Instantly the samurai saw this as their leader fell to the ground unconscious and tried to run away, but Sakura blocked their escape route and beat them into submission. In a span of a few minutes, both Sakura and Sasuke were tying up the men and placing them in groups. Oh no! The two genin looked up to see Kakashi perching on a pillar, and Sakura acknowledged him, "Kakashi-sensei." "What are you guys doing?" the jonin asked. "Killing time. We were about to ask these guys a few questions on why they were chasing that actress." Sasuke answered as he dusted off his hands. Kakashi disappeared for a moment and ended up in front of the leader. "Geez, I am really so sorry about this," Kakashi said to the man as he helped him up. "What is going on here, sensei?" Sakura asked. "This is the gentleman who hired us for this mission today," Kakashi said as the man turned to them. Princess Gale actress. The actress sat by the riverbank as she let her horse have a rest and drink from the stream. She seemed to be deep in thought until Naruto said, "Lady, are you okay?" Her eyes turned to rest on him and the Jinchuriki said, "My name is Naruto Sparta, may I ask why those people were chasing you?" She got up and went to her horse, but Naruto said, "Lady, answer my quest." He was interrupted by the princesses trying to run him over with the horse situation. He leapt on the lake and said, "This is going to be fun." He sped off after her and said, "You know, lady, the sooner I get my answer, the sooner I can leave you alone in peace." The lady looked a bit surprised that he was able to keep up, and then her facial expression changed to indifference as she slapped her horse's butt to urge her to go faster, and Naruto rolled his eyes. "I love it when they play hard to get." Naruto put on a burst of speed and jumped on the back of the horse. "Okay, so I am guessing that you are the culprit to this mess by running away since you don't want to talk to me about it, so it looks like I have to bring you in." He grabbed the reins from behind and made the horse stop in front of a few children. He got off the horse and took the princess down, who was struggling a bit. "Let me go," the woman said. "That is Yukie Fujika's, can I have your autograph?" "Forget it, I don't do autographs," the woman known as Yukie said, and the kids protested even more until Yukie shouted, "Enough already. I mean, come on, what is so special about getting my autograph anyway, huh? You are just going to shove it in some drawer and forget about it, all it is good for is collecting dust. They are just a waste of time, they are useless, what a joke." She moved past them, but Naruto grabbed her by the collar and placed her over her shoulder. "Hey, what are you doing? Put me down," she protested, kicking and beating on his back. "Yukie, that is your name, is it? Well, Yukie-san, here is what is going to happen. I am going to carry you, kicking and screaming if maybe all the way back to the studio that you are supposed to be at, so me and my team can escort to whatever the hell you are going," Naruto said. "What? Someone in your acting place hired us to escort you to your next destination. Now you are going to be a good little girl while I escort you back to where you belong, got it? No, put me down. Your call has been reached to an automatic voicemail, please leave your message after the tone." Naruto walked towards the studio, carrying a screaming and kicking Yukie Fujika's over his shoulder while Kakashi explained Sasuke and Sakura the mission. "Our mission is to guard Yukie Fujika's." "Guard," Sasuke said with a raised eyebrow. "Well, not guard, practically escort her," the assistant manager said in a lazy tone. "The next Princess Gale movie will be one that we are shooting abroad. I don't need to tell you that our actress can be a bit of a diva." He turned to the client, who replied, "Sorry, I do apologize." The manager spoke in a gravelly voice, "I will tell you, these Konoha ninja are impressive. These two took care of those stuntmen turned bodyguards like it was child's play, and those were some big guys too." "Oh, well, thank you," Sakura looked at the picture until she trained her eyes on a particular one. It was a glacier and she said in awe, "Oh, wow, look at those cliffs. Oh, that is the Rainbow Glacier from the land of snow." Sakura turned to see a bald man and said in recognition, "You are Kin, the actor who played Brit." Another man said, "That is where we are going to shoot for the big climatic ending of the movie." "You are Hidaro, you played Shishimaru," Sasuke suddenly spoke up, "Yukigakure, huh? That seems to be a long way to go just to shoot some scene for a movie." The assistant director replied, "Yukie Fujikaze's manager, Sandeu over here recommended it. Apparently he told us that this rainbow glacier glow in 7 different colors in the springtime." "No," Kakashi said, "that is just an old legend, the truth is that there isn't any spring in Yukigakure." "What? Not ever?" Sasuke said. "Does that mean it is winter all year long?" Kakashi nodded. "MMHMM, you got it." The director looked at the Jonin and said, "Kakashi, wasn't it? From what I hear is that this won't be your first time in Yukigakure, is that true?" The Jonin looked up and said, "That was a long time ago." Sakura noticed that he had a faraway look just like when he talked about the memorial stone. "They say that it is a very poor nation too." Sakura turned to see that it was Omiji, who played Sukakero. "Omiji, you were great," she said with many hearts in her eyes. Omiji continued, "Anyway, the story is that their former lord had a thing for gadgets and squandered the money on useless doodads and gizmos." Hidaro replied, "Yeah, well, I just hope they got central heating. I am not really all cut out for the cold." Kin suggested, "Maybe you should run for the hills too, just like Yukie does." "Ah, come on, you guys, that is not even fair." The assistant director whined as the actors laughed. "So does that mean, Yukie is not always like this, is she?" Sakura asked timidly. The men looked at each other and Kin answered, "Kind of, yeah, poor Yukie, she wouldn't even know the meaning of words such as dreams or aspiration. She is really helpless. She has never been one to neglect her work. I don't know anything about her personal life and I don't need to. As long as she is giving her all when the camera's rolling, I won't have any complaints. Say what you will, that woman is a born actress." The director spoke up in a lazy tone. The assistant director agreed, "He is right. Anyway, she only started running from the set after she heard that we were going to Yukigakure. Then maybe you should be a bit more discreet on your travels," Naruto said as he walked up with a tired Yukie and dropped her unceremoniously on her butt. "Man, she is such a bitch. She was driving the horse recklessly through town and almost would have run over a group of kids if I hadn't stopped her in time." Naruto," Kakashi said. "What? Why is she hog-tied and gagged? The woman is an animal. I couldn't get her ass to behave, so along the way, I tied up. So Kakashi-sensei, can you do that hypnotic thing you do, please?" Kakashi nodded and unleashed his Sharingan to make her go to sleep. "So how long is that thing last for?" Naruto asked. The Jonin replied, "A few hours, 8 to 10 hours. "Good, I can get some peace and quiet then." "What did she do?" "She trampled on kids' dreams of getting an autograph from her, and that is unforgivable in my book." Elsewhere, a mysterious man said, "So she has the hex crystal." "Splendid." The ninja, kneeling on his right side of the mysterious man, said, "This film actress, Yukie Fujikaze, there is no doubt that she is Koyuki Kazuhana." The woman in the back said, "I can hardly wait, it was worth the 10 years we took to find her." "Hey, taking care of one little girl should be a piece of cake," another man said, also behind the mysterious man. The first ninja said, "She is not alone, she had Kakashi Hatake and Naruto Sparta as their bodyguards." "Kakashi Hatake and Naruto Sparta," the robust ninja said in surprise. The woman said, "Well, this should be interesting. In the end, it will be a clash of fate." The four were in silence as they watched the last clips of Yukie's last film. Koyuki the woman woke up groggily and rubbed her eyes as she sat up. "Yukie, are you awake?" Sandeu asked as he knocked on the door. "Sandeu, could you get me some water? My head won't stop spinning. This is going to sound crazy, but it feels like the room is swaying." Sandeu said, "Actually, it is not all that crazy." A few seconds, Koyuki found herself on a boat and screamed out, "You have got to be kidding me. Later on that day, Team 7 watched as the crew set up the scenes on the boat and Koyuki getting ready for her scene. This is going to be a very long mission. What are you talking about, Naruto? We have to protect her, this is an important mission. Mission. Correct. An A-rank 1. Naruto closed his eyes. An A-rank mission, huh? Brings back old memories, right, Sasuke, Sakura? Yeah, it does, but I don't know, babysitting a little pampered actress would be all that difficult. Sasuke said as he looked out on the sea. That is not true, Sasuke. Celebrities are targeted all the time, besides it is hard to predict who is after them. Just be on your guard. Kakashi warned. The lights came up and Koyuki began to act her part. Naruto said, I stand corrected, she is good. Then Koyuki called for Sandayu to bring her eye drops and both Naruto and Sakura twitched. Then again, she is impossible, Sakura said. The next day, the route was blocked by a huge iceberg and Naruto's eyes narrowed. An iceberg that appears out of nowhere just so happened to appear in front of us. Something is going on here. Luckily, the director decided to film here because the gods of the movies gave them the ideal location. As the actors' alter egos faced off against Mao, the evil priest. The man pointed at them and an explosion occurred behind Mao. Kakashi stood in front of the actors with his arm outstretched. Hey, what do you think you are doing? The assistant director shouted from his position, but Kakashi ignored him and said, everyone get back now. When the smoke cleared, a man appeared from under the snow and threw off his tarp to say, welcome, friends, to Yukigakure. You, Kakashi said, but then he was distracted to see a woman with pink hair. Greetings, Princess Koyuki, I do hope that you are still carrying around the hex crystal. Kakashi looked back at the actress and said, Princess Koyuki. Then to the right, a burly man laughed as he said, you are as good as they said, Kakashi. Unfortunately, it is not good enough. Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, protect Yukie. Everyone else, get back to the ship now. The leader of the ninjas said, Fubuki, Mizore, I will leave the princess and Naruto Sparta to you two. Dibs on the Sparta, Fubuki said. Kakashi sprang into action by jumping to meet his adversary and the man said, it's been a long time, Kakashi, I hope you are not planning to run like last time. Nader Ruga, Nader sent a punch to Kakashi, but the Hitaki used his forearm to block it and returned the favor by sending a kick to his torso, but the Yuki ninja grabbed his ankle and sent a kick of his own, making Kakashi duck and do a backflip. The two landed away from each other and exchanged powerful blows as they rose higher and higher up the icy slopes. Meanwhile the Chunin and two genin moved in front of the actors and actress. Well, I did always say I wanted to be in the movies, here is my chance, let's show them what we got, team. Mizore took out his snowboard and jumped on it to meet the genin. Sasuke engaged him first and had to move away to dodge his attack, but then Mizore turned about for a second attempt, but the Uchiha dodged again. He began to throw kunai and then a Fuma shuriken, but it proved to be ineffective against him. Hyoten. Sabama Fubuki. Fubuki shouted, HMPH, Nenshusuga. Naruto shouted as he drew Burial and melted the blizzard-like attack. Sakura stood ready and told the actors to move toward the ship, but Koyuki stood still in shock and then Sandayu came running towards her, Princess. Sandayu, what are you? Hyoten. Hyro. Fubuki shouted as she placed two fingers on the ground. Naruto moved away to avoid getting trapped and released a burning wave of chakra at her, but she used her own jutsu to defend her and the fire caused Koyuki to kneel to the ground. Princess. Sandayu cried out. Sasuke glanced briefly to their position, but then he was forced to dodge and weave from the assault of Mizore, but then Mizore used his metal fist to launch him back. Kakashi cried out, Sasuke. Suiryuden no Jutsu. A water dragon materialized from the sea and attacked Mizore, but it bounced off of him for some reason and he was able to call off his attack. Keep the camera rolling even if it kills you, show them the pride in our work. The director shouted. Sasuke and Kakashi moved back to back and the Uchiha said, Kakashi, there is something strange about their armor. Yeah, I know, just be careful, it is chakra armor, created by the ninja here in the land of snow. Chakra armor, it is definitely a lot stronger than it used to be. Nader replied, so you remember. The armor increases the chakra within the body and strengthening our jutsu. It also creates a wall of chakra around our body, able to deflect the chakra off our adversaries. In result, ninjutsu and genjutsu are rendered useless. Hyoten. Haryu Muko. Sweden. Sweryuden. The ice tiger clashed with the water dragon and froze it, continuing towards the Sharingan wielders. Kakashi and Sasuke leapt away from them and the genin met up with Sasuke. Hey, Sasuke, you wanna switch with me? This lady keeps hitting on me like it is nothing. Naruto said. I thought you like it when women hit on you, not when they are trying to kill me and speak about the dominatrix fetish. That is way too much since I believed I already got one somewhere in my little family. Sasuke rolled his eyes and agreed to switch with him. Naruto moved quickly to Mizor's position, who was about to run over Sakura after she cut the bindings that he shot at Koyuki. Out of the way, little girl. Mizor shouted as he was about to punch her. Naruto gave Mizor's face 2 boots to the head and sent the Yuki ninja flying away. Mizor got up to shake the cobwebs from the inside of his brain and charged again as he shouted, "You little runt." Naruto dropped burial and caught Mizor's punch. I am not a little runt, Mizor Fuyukuma. You should know that considering that I am the devil whirlpool. Naruto said with his eyes briefly becoming cyan blue. What is this chakra? Mizor thought. It is uncanny. Meanwhile Sasuke rolled away from the ice prison, but then his feet got caught and quickly covered his body. Fubuki grinned mostly because she got her new toy intact, but then she saw that Sasuke had switched with a fire pot along with a little parting gift. And by little, I mean, a little explosive tag. The tag went off and ninja wire trapped her against her own pillar. Ruka no Jutsu. Sasuke muttered and fire traveled down the wire, but Fubuki activated her wings to avoid the blast. Sasuke looked at her in the air and Fubuki chuckled. Sorry to disappoint, but I like to be unrestrained, but you like to take the initiative. I will have to break that when I defeated you, cutie. Yukie. Hurry back to the ship now. Sakura shouted. Yukie didn't move and Sandeu cried out, Your Highness. Instantly Koyuki's mind wandered back to the day when her father was killed. She remembered herself being rowed away from the castle that held her recently deceased father. What the hell are you doing? Get out of here now. Naruto shouted and Sandeu spoke up. Princess, please, we must get to the shop. No, you have got to go now. Your life is in. Sandeu said until Koyuki cried out in fear. I don't care if I die. I won't go back to the land of snow. The Jinchuriki said, partially distracted, Woman, we don't have time for your selfishness now. Mizor took the opening and threw Naruto away, then he aimed his metal hand to catch Koyuki. Sakura moved in front of it and shouted, Cage Shuriken no Jutsu. She launched a shuriken, which multiplied into 20. The hand was slowed down a bit, but its velocity was able to knock out Sakura. Naruto shouted, Sakura. At that moment, Koyuki fainted and Sandeu knelt to the ground. Princess. Kakashi looked to see that they were all in trouble and rushed towards them. You are not going to run away again, Kakashi, we are not finished yet. Hyoten. Itsukaku Hakuge. Kakashi stopped to see a one-horned whale pierced through the iceberg and separated a part of it away from the ice mass. Alright, I do have to give your props for that jutsu, I will return the favor. Kakashi said in a serious tone, Naruto, get everyone and get them out of here. Got it, Hyoten. Itsukaku Hakuge. Kakashi shouted, using the power of his given Sharingan. HMPH, still playing the copycat game, huh? You are not going to beat me that easily by copying my moves all day, Kakashi. Beat you. Sorry to disappoint you, Nadir, but that was not the goal that I was aiming for at the moment. What? The whales collided with each other, but Kakashi's own was able to push Nadir's back into the iceberg, separating the Yuki ninjas from their objective and the Konoha ninja. It also caused the boat to move further out in the current towards Yukigakure. And cut. The director shouted, waving his megaphone. I hope that we got all of that, mumbled the assistant director. The Yuki ninja joined up together and looked on as the boat sailed away. Dodo-sama is not going to like this, Fubuki murmured. Later in the captain's quarters, the leaders of the expedition joined up with the ninja and Sandeu to assess the situation. You have known all along, Sandeu, haven't you? Kakashi asked after the boat had docked by the harbor. Yes, didn't you ever consider the risks that you would be taking if she ever came back to this place? You are right, Of course, but this was the only way that I could think of to get the princess back to the land of snow. Sandayu said sadly. Sayukie Fujika's is really Koyuki Kazuhana. Naruto said. The Hitaki nodded. That is correct, she is the rightful heir to the land of snow's throne. Sandayu said. I first met her a long time ago, I was her aide and she was still just a little girl. I don't blame her for not remembering me at all since it was years ago. You're from the land of snow as well? Sakura asked, mainly for confirmation. Yes, the former aide answered, I served the princess's father, the former leader of this village, Lord Saozutsu Kazuhana. The land of snow was particularly small, but it was very peaceful here. Lord Saozutsu adored his daughter and those were very good times, but 10 years ago, on that cursed day, Lord Saozutsu's younger brother, Dodo hired a group of Yuki ninja and instigated a revolt, a successful coup d'état. The palace was burned to the ground and I feared that the princess had perished as well. Kakashi took over from there. I rescued her in the palace, we were having negotiations with them, but we were attacked. I had to fight the Yuki ninjas off, the very same ones that we fought today to get to Koyuki. After I got her, I ran, there was no way that we could defeat them at all, so we had to keep hidden. The day that I discovered our beloved princess was alive, I was practically beside myself with joy. Sandayu said as tears began to fall from his eyes, she was alive after all of those years. I should have died back then. Everyone turned to see Koyuki, standing at the doorway. Naruto gritted his teeth and Sakura placed her hand on his leg in an effort to calm him down. You mustn't say such things, princess. We feared the worst. You can't imagine how frantic we all were, we never stopped praying for your life. I am alive, but my heart is dead, was Koyuki's solemn reply. After that day, any tears that I had left had all dried up. Meanwhile Sandayu wiped away his tears with a handkerchief as he said, and that is how I came to be the princess's manager. I have bided my time, waiting for the day when I could escort her back to the land of snow. So all of this time, you have been using us. The assistant director said in indignation. I apologize for deceiving you, but it was for the sake of the land of snow's people. Sandayu said. He got up and went on his knees in front of Koyuki. Koyuki Haim, please, confront Dodo and assume your rightful place as the leader of our land. I will sacrifice my life without hesitation in order to protect you, I beg you. Take up arms and lead your people. I don't think so. Wah, you have got to be kidding. Koyuki said, staring at him. Naruto's eyes began to change from their cerulean blue to cyan blue, flickering back and forth between the two colors. But, what about your people? I could care less about them, just forget it. But princess, will you give it up already? Don't be dumb, it doesn't matter what you do, you will never get rid of Dodo, okay? A clatter was heard and next came a slap. Koyuki fell to the ground, holding her cheek with Naruto standing over her. You fool. Don't you realize that you don't have a choice? You are the princess of the snow country, except that now. Even if you go back far away, Dodo already know your face. You will not be an actress anymore because of that, and what other skills you got other than acting, huh? Koyuki looked away, but the boy took her face and forced him to look into his eyes. Stop acting so childish. True, you lost your father and I can understand that you want nothing to do with this village. But leaving people that care about you under the hands of a tyrant, no less forsaking them as common trash, is unforgivable. It would be so easy for me to just deliver you to Dodo. Sandayu gasped out and Koyuki's eyes widened slightly in fear at Naruto's declaration. Your heart is dead, so you shouldn't be afraid of death or even feel it consume you at all. Is that what you want, Koyuki? To die, cold and alone, like many of the people that gave their lives for you to get away with your life. Naruto released her as he said, I knew a person just like you. He should be at least 9 by now. He had a tyrant in his village as well and he also lost his father to said tyrant. He unfortunately had the pleasure of seeing his father executed in front of him. He was only 6 at the time. I met him when he was 8 and he was just like you. He never smiled or laughed, he just sat in his room, crying while he held his picture of his father. Eventually, he said a similar thing that you said as well and I tore into his ass about it. Then the tyrant was killed and the village was able to prosper once again. Most of all, the boy's smile and laugh was returned to him at full force. Koyuki said, "What does that have to do with me? What it has to do with you is that this man that is kneeling in front of you, practically begging, has a dream that this land will be returned to its former glory as a peaceful nation under a kind ruler, namely you, Koyuki. Telling him to give up is practically insulting yourself, your father and this village. If you continue to do so, I will make sure that you will never be able to look in a mirror without looking at yourself in disgust." Naruto. Sakura got up and wrapped his arms around her boyfriend. "That is enough, Naruto, you don't have to say any more." Naruto calmed down and whispered, "Thank you, Sakura-chan," the director said. "As long as there is hope, there is a dream, as long as there is a dream, there is a future." This is perfect. What a perfect theme for the final chapter of the Princess Gale movie. What? You are not really going to continue filming after everything that has happened? I told you, the movie is evolving. And no way. The director smiled. Just think about it, how often do you get to make a movie with a real princess? We are looking at a chance of a lifetime here. You're right. Think of the buzz, even the making of it will be a hit. We are sitting on a surefire blockbuster. The assistant director said in realization. Koyuki protested, "Hey. Unfortunately, there is only one course of action. Like Naruto said, there is no place that you can run to, now that Dodo has discovered your position. We have no choice, but to fight. It is our only option to get through all of this." Naruto smirked. "So the plan is to find Dodo, beat his minions, kill Dodo, and then we all have a huge party with Miss Prissy on the throne." Stop joking. This is not like the movies, there is no such thing as a happy ending. Koyuki shouted in anger. The director shouted, "Of course there is, if you are willing to fight for it. Normally under these situations, I would head back to the village for a little bit of help, but it will be a waste of time. We are fine as we are. We have you and Naruto, so they are wary of us. Plus me and Sakura can hold our own very well," Sasuke said with his eyes closed and his arms crossed. Sandayu said quietly, "All of you, thank you so much." The director said, "That settles it, we are going ahead with this picture. And you can bet this one will have a happy ending," the assistant director said. Suddenly screams were heard and Naruto perked up. "All of you, please stay inside, looks like I got work to do here." Kakashi said, "Your other profession." Naruto took out Luce and Umbra in his hands and nodded. "Yep, and it looks like it is going to be a huge party." The Jinchuriki ran out to meet the sight of Frosts attacking the trucks. Naruto shot a few rounds in the air, alerting the Frosts to his presence. "Now, boys, trashing up the place is not a cool and fun way to have a party, well, unless it is something I don't care about. But anyway, I am going to have to tell you to cease and desist in what you are going, or I will have to kill you," Naruto said with a smirk. One of the Frosts shot an icicle at Naruto, who shot a bullet at the icicle to make it shatter. "Oh, okay, I see that you are choosing the hard way, huh?" Naruto said as he put away his guns and took out Burial. "Good, because I like it that way." The Frosts attacked Naruto from all sides and Naruto jumped in the air to land on a truck. One of them struck the ground to make a bed of ice spikes leading to Naruto's position. The boy jumped in the air and shouted, "Aerial Rave." The Frost that jumped in the air after Naruto was unfortunately reduced to icy ribbons. Next, Naruto slammed his fist into a Frost, then cut off its arm and kicked it away. He avoided a strike to the heart, coming for another Frost, and slashed the ice demon in half. Next, he dodged a fissure of ice created by a nearby Frost and kicked it in its chest, and then he turned back to see that the Frost that he previously cut off its arm has regenerated it. "So let's see. If I can give them enough time, they can regenerate lost limbs by putting themselves in an ice coma of some sorts. They can also make ice spears out of the grounds. Then the best way to kill these little buggers is to keep off the ground where they don't have much of an advantage." Naruto's thoughts were broken as Frosts jumped in the air, then the Jinchuriki jumped in the air to avoid the ice attack. "And that would have given me a nasty frostbite, yow," Naruto started to say until he was slashed in the back by a Frost. "Why, you son of," Naruto said as he stabbed it in the abdomen and twisted it. "I really got to stop monologuing." The Jinchuriki moved away from a swipe and cut off a Frost's head. Naruto noticed that there was a few more left and smirked. "Well, this seems a bit too easy, but I ain't one to complain." Naruto moved in a Batojutsu stance and said, "Slash dimension." He moved Burial in a sweeping slash and unleashed a vortex of destruction. The frosts were reduced to ice crystals that light reflected off of the sun. "That is all, folks," Naruto said as he absorbed Burial in his Devil Bringer and left, but then a blizzard began to cover the area and the demonic ninja felt the energy crackling around him. Next, glowing blue women came out, laughing and beckoning him to come over to them. "Wow, a show all over me, you two shouldn't have," Naruto said. The Rusalka women moved their fingers in a beckoning motion and Naruto practically glided over there. He began to take in the sights and the goods until a toad-like demon came out, trying to eat me, but Naruto jumped out of the way. "So that is what you look like. Wow, and I thought Mando was an ugly motherfucker, but you take the cake, buddy. How dare you insult the great Bale, master of the frozen soil, you will pay for your..." Yeah, hey, can we skip the monologue and fight? I swear, you are some bad role models. I almost got myself killed with my monologue. Naruto interrupted. Bale said, "Fool, and while we are at it, you need some mouthwash, more like 1,000,000 bottles of Listerine." Bale had enough and blasted Naruto with a swipe of his tail. Naruto was blown backwards into a nearby truck and it exploded. Bale held a toothy grin, but then something shot up out of the smoke to reveal Naruto with his Devil Bringer active. The ethereal fist appeared and slammed into Bale's head, breaking the crystals. Bale became distorted and his tongue laid out of his mouth. Naruto smirked as he said, "I can harm him on the outside, but it seems that he has a vulnerable tongue considering that since he is like a toad, then he would have used it. Time to meet the orthodontist." Naruto leapt inside of its mouth and Bale screamed as Naruto proceeded to fuck up his mouth like no tomorrow. "Why are you screaming for? I haven't seen got to the gums yet. Let's see, a slice here. Damn, you have a lot of cavities. It looks like I will have to replace your entire mouth with dentures, Mr. Bale. This is truly unacceptable. Get out." Bale spat him out and then he roared, making a blizzard and the Rusalka women appeared in his place, looking a bit mad. "Oh, please, your looks paled in comparison to Sakura's. You don't want to see her when she is pissed off, I mean it." The Rusalka gave no reply, but to attack. The tendrils of hair whipped out like unpredictable snakes and Naruto quickly sliced the ice-sharpened points off, then he reached out and grabbed a Rusalka with the Devil Bringer. The woman-like feeler came to him, struggling and Naruto gave a big tug to pull the ice toad demon out of his hiding place, but he misjudged his strength and ripped off the feeler, making the thing go limp. Naruto sighed as the Devil Bringer absorbed the power and felt newfound strength within him. Bale roared in pain and narrowed his eyes at the Devil Bringer. "That arm, I have seen it before." "Yeah, if you are talking about Nero, that is definitely him. I am guessing that he ripped off your little woman helper too, huh? I will make sure that you suffer." Bale tensed up his legs and jumped high in the air while Naruto stood in the same spot. He cocked back his demonic fist and the color changed from a light blue to dark red to dark purple. As the toad demon came back into place, Naruto shouted, "From the makers of Street Fighter, here is a little present. Show Ryu Ken." Naruto gave the patented uppercut, piercing through Bale's stomach and bursting through its icicle crown. The boy jumped down in front of the dying toad as it said, "You have bested me, Naruto Sparta, your mother was right, you would be strong, take my soul as your prize. I shall serve you well, but be careful, I sensed my brother nearby and he is far stronger than I." The Jinchuriki nodded and held out his hand to take Bale's soul. It morphed into a blue crystal whip, its tip was like a flower. A.N. Picture Rojiro Otoribushi's Zanpakuto Shikai Kinshara from Bleach, only the color is a see-through baby blue. "I am not a fan of whips, but," Naruto started to say as frosts appeared, "I think I can make this work." Naruto let the tip fall to the side and then sent it out to play. It struck a frost deep within its chest and turned left to pierce another. The young Sparta ripped it out and destroyed them, then swung in a circle to inflict deep cuts on the surrounding ice demons. Naruto chuckled as he sent out the tip once again and shouted for good measure, "Get over here." The Sparta charged a quick Rasengan and slammed into its head, causing the body to dissipate into ice. Next, he sent out a kick at a frost attempted to end his life from behind to a group, then he retracted Bale and jumped high into the air to send the flower-tipped point to the ground. Then several duplicates of the whip came out and pierced all of them through the chest or head. Naruto landed softly to the ground and whistled, "You may not have flames, but you are sure a tamer, you are definitely going to be kept around. He had the devil bringer absorb Bale and walked back inside to the room. It is finished. Now before we go to your camp, I am going to be taking a shower, Naruto said calmly as he went out the door to do what must be done. After a clean shower and a change in wardrobe, the film crew had set off toward their destination. After a few hours, they took a break before they reached the cave that would lead them to the hideout of the rebels. Our hideout is not far from here, it is just beyond this cave. Once we have finished our shooting here, we will pass through the other side, then my people can rest easier with the fact that they have their princess back. Sandayu stated with a smile. All right, people, let's get this show on the road, the director shouted, coming out from his trailer. Director, we got a bit of a problem, the assistant director shouted. What is it now? Yukie has up and vanished again. What? Snowy forest? Forget it. Absolutely not, Koyuki thought as she ran into the forest, deeper and deeper. Elsewhere, Team 7 were already on the move and over the radio, Kakashi said, fan out and look for her. Radio in if she turns up, Sakura and Sasuke said, got it. As the team separated into 3 directions, Naruto stopped and sniffed the air, got your sight, now you can't hide from me, ya stupid bitch. In the forest, Koyuki ran with her mind screaming no over and over again. She was so focused that she didn't see that some of the snow was soft and she tripped while falling downhill until she slowed to a stop. Slowly, she lost consciousness and drifted back to when her father told her about spring and laughed scornfully. You are a liar, father, there is no spring. Finally she opened her eyes as she heard footsteps crunching over the snow. Really, is running away the best you can do? Why can't you just accept the fact that you will become the princess of this land, huh? Come on, get up, everyone is waiting. Koyuki slowly got up, but then she fell back down with a hiss of pain. Naruto strode to her and knelt down to look at her leg to see that it was sprained. TCH, you have really become a burden now. Naruto grabbed a branch and broke it over his knee, then he ripped off a piece of his shirt to tie around her ankle to make a makeshift splint. Thank you, murmured Koyuki. Well, the snooty runaway has manners, Naruto said, then he tensed up as he felt a tingling in his body and it was not the good kind. A thick mist came in and suddenly 2 crimson-colored Rusalka came out and Naruto rolled his eyes, this trick again. Sorry, but I absolutely abhor one-trick ponies. The Sparta took out Ivory and shot behind him just as a toad-like demon came out. It had ice crystals on his head just like Bale did and its color was sickly green than white like Bale. What the hell is that thing? Koyuki cried out in fear. That, my dear, is a demon. You see, these demons are a bit stronger than most. He happens to be an A-rank demon close to the level of, I would say, the Gobi. My clan, the Sparta, are the ones who hunt them. My mother, who was a priestess, unsealed the devil arms as a test for me before she died. Naruto said to her. He turned to the demon. You must be Dagon of the frozen soil. I hope that you will entertain me more than your brother did. Sparta, how were you able to detect me? I have developed a certain 6th sense for demons and plus your scent, it reeks. Have you ever considered a shower? You insult me one more time and I will make experience more pain than you can possibly ever imagine. Dagon roared out. Actually I would like to see you try that, Naruto retorted as he looked at the demon. The toad thing jumped towards Naruto and Koyuki, but first, Naruto grabbed the princess bridal style and jumped away, leaving the toad. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, Naruto said and a clone popped up. Get her somewhere safe. Something tells me that there are going to be less trees around here now, Naruto ordered. The clone nodded and took Koyuki away just as Naruto took out Burial. You are getting quite popular, Burial. Who knew that 2 demons would come out so quickly? It's like an all-you-can-eat buffet here. Dagon swiped at him with its tongue and Naruto sprang away, only to be hit by its tail iced out with, well, ice. Naruto's back slammed into a tree and Kakashi's voice came in over the portable radio. Naruto, what is going on? Have you found Koyuki? Naruto said. Yeah, I found her all right along with something else. I will notify the verdict when I am done since I am busy as the moment. Dagon roared. Die. He lunged again, but this time, Naruto jumped in the air and shouted, Nenshusuga. The burning wave of demonic energy slammed into Dagon's ice crown, breaking a few of them. Dagon became a bit dizzy and Naruto thought, so he is like Bale as well, huh? Then this should be easy enough. Naruto dismissed Burial and began to chip away at the ice using Loose and Umbra until Dagon chose to wake up and flung him off. Then the toad jumped in place, causing a bed of ice spikes to appear and Naruto fell on top of them. Dagon said with a voice, "So much for the descendant of Sparta, I expected more from you, what a disappointing fight." Well, that is what I call a wake-up call, Naruto said as he moved through the bed of ice spikes from the side. The Jinchuriki ripped out a spike from his shoulder and it healed in a matter of seconds, then moved on to his legs and the biggest one in his stomach. I was feeling a bit empty inside, but now I will be satisfied by kicking your ass, you will be fun to play with now, Dagon, Naruto said as he summoned Gilgamesh and ran at Dagon, who in retaliation, shot out ice crystals from his crown. The Sparta moved in a zigzag pattern to avoid the sharpened spikes and then jumped in the air as he said, "Real impact." Then Naruto charged his leg up until the color turns black and it shot out into Dagon's face, Blackjack. Dagon was launched backwards into the forest and Naruto ran after him, Flash Strike. Dagon was stunned with the blow and then Naruto roared out, Hyper Fist. He began to pummel Dagon's face with a bunch of blinding punches and then finished the fight with Starfall. Dagon turned into ice and then Naruto held out his hand to take its soul, the light changed into twin tonfas. Naruto smirked and said, "Now this I like a lot. Okay, now to take the princess back to the camp, again." The Sparta moved quickly to find his clone and dispelled him. "Alright, lady, let's go." He took her up piggyback style and walked back through a cave. They didn't say anything for a few minutes and then Koyuki broke the silence, "How the hell do you keep finding me?" "Because, Koyuki, it is my job. It doesn't matter how much you or I hate it, I will have an obligation to find you. I never forget a scent once I smelled it. Each human has a particular smell, you smell of fresh snow and rain. Sakura smelled of cherry blossoms, Sasuke smelled of smoke and tomatoes and Kakashi smells of hay." Koyuki replied, "Well, you can drag me back if you like, but all that I am going to do is act for the camera and that is it, you got that?" "Hey, good, you need to practice more on your acting anyway." "What, your acting is good, but you could make it a bit better if you actually bring out your soul. When I was watching your latest movie, I didn't feel anything at all, because when I saw your eyes, they beheld nothing at all but coldness," Naruto said. Suddenly there were a train whistle and they looked down at the ground to see that the train tracks had appeared, melted by chakra. Elsewhere, the train tracks continued through the film camp and the director said, "What is that?" Sandeu rushed over to the tracks and said, "It is chakra, there is chakra running through the rails, melting the ice, which means, he is here." He turned to the film crew, "Everyone, please hurry. You must get out of here quickly. You can't let them find you, it is not safe." The former aide ran up the slope with the assistant director calling out, "Sandeu, where are you going?" Naruto and Koyuki, there was a light up ahead and Koyuki said, "It's a train." Naruto said, "Train? What train?" Suddenly a huge mass of metal sped forward, breaking the icicles overhead and Naruto said, "Fuck my life." He began to run ahead of the train with the thing chugging behind him at his heels. "We'll be run over," Koyuki shouted in despair. "No, we won't," Naruto growled out. "It is impossible. Nothing is impossible. Look, there is no way that you can outrun that thing." "Will you shut the fuck up, woman? I am trying to focus on not getting us killed at the moment. Even if you try to run, it's pointless. It's over for us." "No, it ain't, lady. Even though the odds are not in our favor, I will not lie on my back and lament that it is over. You may be pessimistic about facing death in the face, but I will never give up," Naruto declared as he ran. Naruto shouted as he pushed himself forward, surprising Koyuki. "Time to take it up a notch. Hold on tight," the Sparta said as he transformed into his devil form and the new burst of speed came through. They reached the exit and Naruto jumped to the side as the iron horse sped past them. The two fell across the snowy terrain, breathing hard. Naruto got up, chuckling loudly and Koyuki looked at him in amazement until a low voice said, "It's been a long time, Koyuki." She turned and a small gasp escaped her lips as she said, I knew it, it's Dodo. It's been 10 years, come now, don't be shy, let's see that beautiful face of yours. Dodo said over the loudspeaker. Koyuki continued to look at him, but then a shot was heard and the bullet bounced off of the railing. Dodo looked over at Naruto and his eyes narrowed at him, but then his attention was brought to the logs that slammed into the side of the train. They all looked to see that Sandayu along with men clad in samurai armor were standing at the top of the cliff. There you have it, men, our beloved princess is here to watch over us. With her at our side, victory is ours. The men cheered and then Sandayu drew out his sword as he said, hear me, Dodo, we have waited a long time for this day of reckoning to come. Sandayu Asama and 50 loyal warriors stand before you to avenge our great fallen leader, Lord Saozutsu. On this day, you will breathe no more. Dodo commented to Nagale, I thought that you destroyed the last of the insurgents. My apologies, we will get rid of them immediately. No, with men such as these, there is little that they can understand but total annihilation. The samurai began to charge down to Dodo, who nodded and Nagale did a hand sign that made the train doors open to reveal small holes and they shot kunai at the charging men, cutting them down. Dodo laughed at the carnage until only Sandayu stood upright with kunai in his body and then a final wave of kunai came at him, but he was saved by a Fuma shuriken courtesy of Sasuke. Sasuke then threw a kunai with an explosive tag attached to it, causing an explosion on the train's hull. Next, Sakura threw an explosive ball, causing an avalanche. The train decided to leave on the bridge, but then the train almost fell due to the explosion that was set on under the bridge by Kakashi. Luckily for Dodo, the train detached the rest and left the bridge. Sasuke was about to pursue them, but Kakashi moved in front of them and said, wait, Sasuke, don't be so hasty. Soon the film crew came out and they helped with the dead and mortally wounded. Awful, Sakura whispered, that is what comes from never giving up. If they hadn't gone and stood up to Dodo, then none of this bloodshed would have happened. That is also what will happen to civilians, including women and children if you don't confront Dodo and take the throne. Naruto retorted. That form, the one that you did when the train was coming, you have amazing power, why didn't you save them? Because, it is their Bushido to die for what they believe in, me saving them is denying that honor from them and spitting in their faces that they are weak and inconsiderate. You say that what Sandayu and his men did was foolish, well, it was, but at least they have the guts to stand up to do what is right unlike you. The men carried a barely alive Sandayu on a stretcher and Koyuki knelt by him. My princess, forgive me, I should have never gotten you involved with this. It's just that every single one of us were able to believe, in spite of everything, because we knew you were alive. When you were little and even now, you will always be, just as I, the loyal Sandayu believed. So too you must believe in yourself, you have always been our purest hope, princess. Please do not waste your tears on me. And Sandayu Asama, loyal aide of the Kazuhana family, gave up his spirit and died. Naruto knelt by Sandayu. May you have a safe journey to the afterlife, Sandayu Asama, Reskieskat en pace. The Jinchuriki closed the samurai's eyes as Koyuki said, you are such a fool, Sandayu, I can't cry, you have my eye drops. He was not speaking to you, Koyuki, he was speaking to your soul, trapped in the ice crystal that you made. That soul is crying out for the loss of her most trusted friend, even though you are not showing it at all. Naruto thought to himself. Are you all satisfied? Let's go back, if you stay here, your lives will be in jeopardy. Let's just go home. The Sparta laughed at her scornfully, you inconsiderate stupid bitch, this is your home, plus you know the only way to let Dodo leave you alone is to die or to fight. You won't fight, but you will run, and he will follow you to the edge of hell and drag you back by your hair, just so he can kill you. You know absolutely nothing, spring doesn't come to this country. Our tears are frozen over and our hearts are hardened with the cold. Sakura said, but you have the power to change that outlook, at least Sandayu believed in that and you just spit on his grave. You haven't shed even one tear for this amazing man because you are afraid to die. I have had enough of this nonsense. The princess said angrily. Naruto sighed and moved over in front of her, making the girl shout, leave me alone. Then she gasped at the sight behind him and Naruto turned to see a blimp with Mizore, who had a clear shot of Koyuki. His hand latched on her waist tightly and took her on the blimp while Fubuki threw kunai with blue orbs attached to it. Shit, cursed Kakashi as they dodged the kunai, which exploded into ice tree-like structures. Sasuke landed on one of them and said, "Sakura, where is Naruto?" Sakura looked at the retreating blimp. "I have a feeling that he is on the blimp now. It's a good thing that he gave me a tracker seal in case we got separated." That Naruto, always thinking ahead. "Okay, we will rescue Koyuki at night," Kakashi said to his two genin. "Prepare for a long battle." "Blimp, you have gotten beautiful. Koyuki, tell me, do you still have the hex crystal?" Dodo asked. "Yes, good, it is the sole remaining link to the Kazuhana clan and the key to opening its treasure." "A key? To what?" she asked curiously. "When I wrested the kingdom from your father's hands, the Kazuhana clan's resources were all but gone. I knew that Saozutsu must have hidden his treasure somewhere, so I searched and then I finally found it, hidden deep with the Rainbow Glacier. There is a keyhole there which can be opened only by the hex crystal. Once I get possession of the Kazuhana fortune, our country can obtain military superiority over the 5 great nations." "Sure thing, pal, that is a nice little plan you got there, but you forget one thing," a voice said, causing Koyuki and Dodo to look at the back to see Naruto leaning against the wall with his arms crossed. "You," Koyuki said in surprise. "Yes, I am Naruto and you are. How on earth did you get on here?" Naruto uncrossed his arms to reveal the Devil Bringer and Koyuki gasped as the Jinchuriki revealed it. "Amazing, isn't it? This little baby works wonders and helped me get on your little Hindenburg here." Suddenly Snow Ninja appeared and Naruto raised his hands in surrender. "I surrender." "What happened to all that talk about not giving up?" "I am not, but do you expect me to kill everyone on this blimp and figure out how the hell to drive this thing? I would be sending you and me to our deaths, therefore this situation is not in my favor." Suddenly an elevator came out to reveal several Narutos that surrendered to Fubuki and Nagale said, "Forgive me, my lord, as you see, Naruto Sparta was a bit of a handful. So he knows the Kage Bunshin no Jutsu," Dodo said in an amused tone. Mizore spoke up, "I can tell you this, his chakra is pretty powerful." Nagale smirked, "What do you think? Maybe we should try that contraption out on him." Dodo nodded, He would make for an interesting test subject." The Jinchuriki said, "Why do I get the feeling that I am not going to like that smirk at all?" Nagale moved to a drawer and took out a small gear-like mechanism as he walked to Naruto. He separated the parts, making blue electricity connected the two parts. He stuck it on Naruto's stomach and twisted it. The mechanism took out small tentacle-like wires and stuck them in Naruto's abdomen, sucking out his chakra. "Arg!" Naruto shouted as lightning coursed through his body. "What is that?" "We're cleansing him of his chakra. The prototype device will absorb any chakra within his body and bind it into a barrier. Once activated, it can't be broken or destroyed, no matter what." Naruto fell on his knees and then he looked at him with a smirk before he fell unconscious. "Now then, I will take the hex crystal if you don't mind," Dodo said as he held out his hand. Koyuki untied the necklace and gave it to Dodo, who smiled as he looked at it and then frowned. "What is this?" He grabbed his niece by the collar and shouted, "This is not a game. You think that I don't know that it's a fake?" "What? But that is impossible," Koyuki said, but then she gasped in realization of the only one who could do such a thing, Hitaki Kakashi. "What? Of course," Nagale said, "Kakashi is a shrewd one, I wouldn't put it past him to make a bait and switch." Fubuki said in a sultry tone, "Don't even worry about it, we will go out and round it up in no time." "No, that won't be necessary. Why even bother if the man will show up on his own for the princess and his little subordinate? That is why the little brat came up here, he must have a tracker seal on him. All we have to do is wait, until then." Dodo chuckled as he crushed the fake hex crystal in his hand. Kazuhana Fortress Snow Prison. Naruto was chained up by his arms with heavy chains. Well, quite a predicament that I am in. It is almost nighttime, so Kakashi-sensei should be making their move. I got to do is wait until she comes. Soon enough, Koyuki was escorted by 2 snow ninja to her cell, which was across from Naruto's own. She sat, hugging her knees and then turned to look at him. "Serves you right. HMPH, Look who's talking, I know. So you want to tell me what did you mean when you said that there is no spring? Koyuki replied, you will see when the spring comes, Koyuki. That is what my father told me, when I was a little girl, he made me imagine spring, a field surrounded by flowers with me running through it. He told me if that I never gave up, if I believed, then spring would come, but this land has no spring at all. My father died. I fled from Yukigakure and stopped believing. I began to run and lie to others, but mostly I was lying to myself. My life is one big charade and becoming an actress was the only thing that I was cut off for this world. Naruto said, my turn. One thing you should about me is that I was not well liked in my own village because of a burden that I carried. Nobody cared for me, I had no parents and they shunned me. I tried to blow it off and play cool, but it still hurt inside. I used to think that I didn't have anywhere to belong to, but eventually, I made friends, I kept at it and never gave up. Good things happened to me over the months. When you give up, your dreams and everything else are gone. Your father, and Sandayu, I am going to make sure that you see that they weren't wrong. The Jinchuriki began to break his bonds with his strength and then fell to the ground. Kakashi-sensei and the others will be here soon, so I got to get you ready to move. Naruto moved to the bars and grabbed them, only for them to shock him. Son of a, Naruto hissed, your uncle may be an asshole, but he is a smart one. Looks like I will have to play dead for a while. He laid on his back and said, get some rest, we have a big night ahead of us. Later, in the dead of night, an explosion occurs and an informant came over to Dodo to kneel before him as he said, we are under attack. The tyrant smirked as he said, Kakashi, so you are here at last, and right on time. At the prison, Snow Ninja were scrambling to go upstairs to fight the intruders and then one of them noticed Naruto was on the floor. How did he get out? He said to himself. He pulled off the seal on the door and unlocked it, then he and his partner rushed over to him. Surprise, Naruto said as he knocked out the two, time to go, Koyuki. Koyuki smiled a bit and then Naruto unlocked his bonds and next, Koyuki's. Come on, I got to get my guns. Naruto said as he ran to the warden's office, who was looking at them in curiosity. Oi, my pistols, Naruto said as he punched him in the face, causing the warden to fly backwards in his chair, unconscious. He took his guns and holstered them, all right, time to get to the elevator, going up. As the two ran across the bridge, a snow ninja appeared and then the Jinchuriki smirked, good to see you, Kakashi. Sorry to keep you two waiting, are you all right, princess? The Jonin said. Yeah, you took my hex crystal and switched with a fake without telling, didn't you? Yeah, sorry, but I figure that it was what Dodo was after. Kakashi said as he took out from his pocket and gave it to her. All for this little thing, Koyuki murmured. Suddenly they heard groans behind him and Sakura said, this place is filled with guards. Koyuki said, this way, she led the team in a room and Dodo laughed, well done, Koyuki. The princess made a break for it and Kakashi moved as he shouted, wait. Nadare, Fubuki and Mizore appeared before him and the female Yuki ninja said, hello, boy toy, are you ready to be dominated? Sakura said, sorry, sister, but he is mine. She grabbed her boyfriend's balls as she said, as well as this Tonto here. Fubuki frowned, then it looks like that I have to kill you to get to him. Naruto smirked, and if you do that, you got me and her fellow sisters to deal with, lady. Koyuki gave her uncle the crystal and turned to Team 7, this shouldn't be a surprise to any of you, after all, I am an actress, aren't I? Dodo said, there you have it, another brilliant performance from the great Yukie Fujika's. Naruto frowned a bit, but Koyuki said, yes, it was all an act, then she unleashed Sandayu's Tonto and stabbed Dodo with it. Dodo groaned as Koyuki shouted, I told you, didn't I? I'm an actress. The Jinchuriki whispered, well, I didn't see that coming at all. Why you? Dodo said as he clutched Koyuki's throat. I always knew, Naruto, that I was going to die if I ever returned to the land of snow. At least I could. Naruto said, Koyuki, don't you dare die on me now. It is thanks to you, Naruto, that I could stop running away until the end. No, don't you get it? You were running away by throwing away your life like this. Then everything that your father and Sandayu had sacrificed their lives for would be for nothing. Koyuki whispered, I am sorry, father, Sandayu. She and Dodo tipped over the edge and fell to the ground. Naruto ran over to Koyuki, but he was knocked back by Dodo. You really thought you could kill me with this little toy? Dodo said as he untied his robe to reveal that the knife had not pierced him, but made a little nick in his chakra armor. That is right, it is chakra armor, our latest prototype. He declared. Suddenly Koyuki coughed as she breathed for air and Dodo grabbed her by the waist. You are wasting your time, every ounce of your chakra has been sucked away, you are powerless. Koyuki struggled a bit by hitting Dodo's leg and the tyrant said, Come, let us go, Koyuki, beyond the rainbow. Rage filled Koyuki's eyes as she looked at her uncle and then the ceiling crashed down. Dodo has a line shot upward to bring him and Koyuki into the air, but Naruto sent a kunai with a rope attached to it and went up as well. The Yuki ninjas did the same and the Konoha ninja leapt away from the crashing building. As Dodo unleashed his wings, he noticed that Naruto was still hanging on and he cut the string, making Naruto fall. He heard Koyuki cry out his name as he fell through the trees and then he got up. Damn it, I am going to kick Dodo's ass twice as hard now. Suddenly the director came up and said, Hop up. Naruto smirked. Thanks, old man. Rainbow Glacier's Dodo had landed and Koyuki said, This is it, we have come here after all, I guess. Dodo took the hex crystal and activated the key, the gears whirled to life as Dodo smirked evilly. Forest Sasuke and Sakura ran through the forest as they dodged the familiar ice explosive kunai. The Uchiha asked, Sakura, how close are they? Sakura retorted, Hold on a second, I got it, 20 degrees left in 5 seconds, 30 meters ahead. You want to aim for that branch. Got it, Sasuke shouted as he threw the ninja wire at the branch. Give it up, it's useless. Mizore cried out as he sped toward Sakura. It's payback time, I owe you a beating from last time. Sakura said as she raised up and opened her cape to reveal kunai with bags. She began to throw them and the kunai along with bags burst into small slips of paper. Come on, don't make me laugh. Mizore scoffed at her. That is right, you pathetic cybernetic Hulk. Keep underestimating me, Sakura thought as a slow smirk began to creep up on her face. Mizore was unable to see and jumped over off of his board to look at the paper. One of them landed on his arm and he saw that it was a mini explosive tag. Sakura Fubuki no Jutsu, in duel. Sakura shouted as she threw her kunai at his feet, causing an explosion. The same explosion pushed Fubuki into the ninja wire that Sasuke had set up, breaking her wings. She righted herself and cut the wire with a kunai, then jumped away as she shouted, You are dealing with the Yuki ninja here, it will take a lot more than that just to bring us down. Sasuke appeared behind her as he said, You are probably right, Shishi Renden. The Uchiha did his taijutsu combo and sent Fubuki down to the ground while Mizore coughed as he got out of the smoke to see Fubuki coming at him. The two crashed into each other and purple electricity expelled from their source. Another explosion occurred and Sasuke asked, What happened? I think that when they collided, their chakra armor sources short-circuited when they touched. Our job is done here then, let's go and help Naruto before he gets himself killed. Sasuke said as he leapt away. Kakashi and Nagale. Well, now Kakashi, are you sure that you are not going to run this time around? Nagale said, It doesn't look like I have much of a choice, do I? But at least I can show you one of my original techniques, Kakashi replied. The two Jonin went through hand signs and Kakashi shouted, Reikiri. The familiar ball of lightning appeared in his hand, crackling while Nagale said, Hyoden, Ruga Nadare no Jutsu. The avalanche turned into wolves and Kakashi ran as he jumped over the wolves, surprising Nadare. How did you? Kakashi moved toward Nadare, but a wolf appeared in the Konoha Jonin's path and Kakashi shouted, Eat this. His jutsu pierced through the wolf and Nadare's chakra shield to make him back up as his chakra armor was fractured. HMPH, you almost had me there, Nadare commented as the avalanche swallowed them up. Then a hand grasped him from behind and Nadare said, What? Kakashi replied, Even though you can block a ninja's ninjutsu and genjutsu, he still has taijutsu, you relied too much on this armor. Nadare struggled, but to no avail and his head was crushed on the rocks after Kakashi let him go at the last second. The Sharingan wielder looked at his adversary's body, and that takes care of him. Now for Dodo. Rainbow Glacier Dodo backed up as he looked around, frantically searching for the treasure. Where is it? Where is the treasure? Hissing sounds were made and water ran from various areas. The frozen ground began to melt and Koyuki commented, "It's so warm, what is this?" "A heat generator. This is the hidden treasure of the Kazuhana family. Princess." Dodo and Koyuki turned to see Naruto running towards them and the princess said, "Naruto." Dodo growled as he flipped through hand signs, Hyoten, Kokuryu Bofusetsu. He shot out his fist and a black ether-like dragon appeared from out of nowhere and crashed into Naruto, launching him into the air. Koyuki gasped and cried out, "Naruto!" The Jinchuriki fell from the air and slammed into the ground, face first while slightly cracking the ice. Dodo smirked, but then he heard Naruto laughing, "What's wrong? I barely felt a thing back there now." "Naruto, please, that is enough. If you don't stop now, he is going to kill you." "Trust me, Koyuki, it will take a demon to kill me. If you just have a bit of faith in me, I will not lose this battle," he declared as his dormant power began to crack the barrier. "What? How is it possible that the chakra is leaking out somehow?" Dodo said to him. Then he grew angry and bit his thumb, Kuchio's no jutsu. Suddenly a burst of smoke appeared and Naruto's eyes widened to see that Dodo was now standing on top of a demon. To be exact, it was a three-headed dog covered in ice and he had three collars around his necks. "This is Cerberus, the Ice Guardian, and he is a demon. We keep control of him with this collar of his. Now, you little pest, it is time for you to die." "Well, it saves me the trouble of looking for him. This is brilliant, 3 ice devil arms on 1 mission. Can my life get any better?" "Wait, it can, by letting me kick your ass. Come on. Cerberus, attack this fool. I don't want to see a piece of him at all on this snow." Dodo stepped back to watch, but then a kunai was thrown at his back. Sasuke and Sakura stepped forward. Dodo said, "You too." Naruto looked at the three-headed dog, growling at him. "Wow, you are a big fella, aren't ya?" Cerberus growled and the blue-eyed head shot out an ice ball. Naruto slashed it in half using burial once again and then it swiveled to the green-eyed head. "Okay, blue shoot out ice balls, green," Naruto said as he felt a chill in the air and looked up as he finished, "summons big-ass icicles from the sky." The Sparta moved between the icicles and the Cerberus switched to the red-eyed one and breathed ice on Naruto, freezing him in place. "Son of a bitch, I can't move," Naruto thought. Cerberus shouted as he sent a paw at Naruto, knocking to the side. Then the three-headed dog stomped on the ground, making ice crystals pierce Naruto's body. Cerberus looked at the ice crystals curiously and then Naruto roared as he turned into his devil trigger and next, he took out Dagon. He moved in front of Cerberus as he said, "I don't have time to play with you, Leviathan." The Tonfa's demonic mouth opened to send a chilling water blast at Cerberus, freezing the green-eyed one in place. Next, the Jinchuriki sent a roundhouse kick to it, destroying it. Tiamat. The other Tonfa's demonic head in his left hand opened its mouth to send a scorching water blast, making the orange one howl in pain. Naruto took the time to knock the head up as he shouted, "Rehab." The head was bludgeoned to death and in turn, the collar was broken off. Cerberus spoke up, "Thank you for freeing me, descendant of Sparta. Now take my soul and go forth, you have my blessing." Cerberus howled and changed into a light ball, then transformed into a tripartite nunchaku. "Good, now to deal with Dodo," Naruto said as he changed back to his original form, turning to the fight. Dodo was busy fending off Sasuke and Sakura, but he was able to knock Sakura away, only for her to be caught by Kakashi. Sasuke ran at him and shouted, "Chidori!" The ball of lightning screeched like an eagle and Dodo's armor was fractured, then the tyrant punched Sasuke away to be caught by Kakashi and Sakura. "Did you think that your puny little jutsu would have an effect on me?" Dodo said with a sneer. "Naruto, his armor has been fractured, the rest is up to you," Sasuke said before he fell to the ground. "Thanks, Sasuke," Naruto said and then he glared at Dodo. "Okay, I had just about enough with you, now it is time for you to pay with a bit of insurance as well. You're still alive, fine, come on, you little halfwit. Hyoten. Soryu Bofusetsu. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. The horde of clones ran to meet Dodo's jutsu and they were trapped into a black tornado, destroying them in the process. Dodo laughed. It's over. Finally this ridiculous little farce is over. Ha 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 ha. Koyuki looked down and then she turned to look behind Dodo for a minute. Dodo looked behind him as well as Naruto shouted, not yet. I told you, Dodo. You are going to pay. Like I said before, every story has got to have a happy ending. Koyuki stood up and shouted, Naruto, I believe in you. You are, by far, the strongest ninja that I have ever known. Hehe, I could have told you that, Naruto said as he charged at Dodo with his Devil Bringer active and the Rasengan in his hand. He didn't notice that the Rainbow Chakra augmented his attack and some of the Rainbow Chakra was absorbed in his Rasengan. Rainbow Chakra, just like in the movie, Sakura said in awe of her boyfriend. Dodo swung at Naruto, but he disappeared and appeared behind him. Dodo turned to try and strike at him again, but it was too late. Take this, Rainbow Rasengan. Dodo screamed in pain as the jutsu hit him at full force. It completely obliterated his shield and slammed into his chest. Dodo flew back into one of the glaciers and it broke like glass. Suddenly the scenery changed into spring. The assistant director said, huh? What the director said, wait a minute, could this be, we are making this movie in 3D. Koyuki looked around at the new change and then she heard her father's voice, believe in the future and if you do, the spring will surely come. The princess looked up to see a large projection of herself appear as her father asked, what will you do when it comes, Koyuki? The younger version of her answered, I am going to become a princess. Oh, what kind of princess? Let's see, one who's strong and who's kind, and most of all, one who fights for justice. Her father chuckled loudly, that is some dream, Koyuki answered herself, did I really said those things? Her father continued, well, so long as you believe in your dream and never give up, one day you will be that princess. Saozutsu then appeared in the projection and put the hex crystal necklace around her neck, then placed his hands on her shoulders. You can see it, can't you? There is a beautiful princess standing right there in front of you. Koyuki's heart warmed up at her father's words and she began to shed tears. Then she heard her younger self said, but, I have sort of a problem, there is something else that I want to be. Saozutsu said, really, what's that? The young Koyuki looked at her father and said happily, an actress. What? Her father said and then he laughed. The older Koyuki began to laugh as well as she was crying tears of joy. Naruto looked up. Hehe. Now this is definitely a happy ending, time to go night-night. The boy went to see on the bed of flowers that he landed in. Next week, Naruto and Team 7 got rid of the Yuki Ninja and Koyuki was inaugurated as the daimyo of the land of snow, spring. That generator was not even fully developed in the end. Koyuki commented. I guess it will be back to winter soon, huh? Not really, if we take what we know and continue researching, before you know it, the land of snow will become the land of spring. Sakura said, yeah, but it is kind of a shame, you are such a big star, you're really going to retire from acting. Who said that I was retiring? Ruling over the land of snow and acting, I think that I can handle both. I mean, I would have to be out of my mind to give it up now. That script, Kakashi said, pointing at it. Well, I'll be seeing you, Koyuki said as she walked away from Team 7 and into a group of kids shouting for autographs. She relented and began to sign them. Naruto smiled, I am sure that you can be able to handle them both, Koyuki Haim. That script, she is perfect, Kakashi said. Oh, Naruto, here, Koyuki gave me this to give you. Sasuke said as he gave him an envelope. Well, what do you know? Naruto said as he took it from his friend's hand and they all looked at it. Naruto smirked, Kakashi had a blush and Sakura was a bit jealous. The picture was of Naruto and Koyuki in a lip lock at the Rainbow Glaciers. Well, this picture I am definitely going to put in my scrapbook. The Sparta said as he looked at the actress. The actress caught his eye and he smiled at her, she blushed and waved back. Sakura said, that is not fair. She totally too. Naruto shut her up with a kiss and when he broke it, he said, you were saying. I'm sorry, what was the question? She answered in a daze. Chapter 21 Influx of power. Meanwhile in an underground base, Kabuto Yakushi was in a lot of pain, and the weird thing about it was that he was laughing at it. I have finally done it, he said to himself. He closed his hands and flexed them. He punched a nearby wall, making it crack under pressure and collapse. With Naruto-kun's blood coursing through my veins and Orochimaru's integrated cells, I will be unstoppable. The white-haired ninja turned to the intricate seals on the floor as well as the bodies of prisoners that, generously, gave their lives to accomplish his goals. Now, my vengeance begins. Kabuto shouted as he slammed both of his palms into the ground. The seal absorbed the blood of the prisoners and their bodies, turning into a deep red light, and soon shadows appeared out of the seal one by one. Kabuto smiled. Thanks to the journal that Orochimaru kept, these men will be very good business partners. First to materialize was a bald man that was dressed to look like a priest and had a burn mark on one side of his face that almost seemed alive, but the most surprising this figure had was the same eyes as Tenten's, only filled with malice. His name was Arkham. The next to appear was a tall, pale man who dressed as a bureaucrat. He had an aura of demonic essence lingering from him, and his name was Arius. Next to the businessman was a lesser demon. His eyes were both loose and he had a burn mark on the side of his face. His name was Sid. Soon two more figures appeared from the runic symbols, an old man dressed in vicar's clothes and a monocle-wearing man, fair-skinned and slightly hunching. This duo were both named Sanctus and Anus respectively in that order. Arkham looked around. What is this place? Kabuto answered. This is the human world, a different dimension that is a bit more primitive than that world you are familiar. Here, humans have powerful essence called chakra and can utilize that chakra to create jutsu or bloodlines. Some bloodlines are powerful enough to control demons. I need your help to stand with me against a common foe that you all have encountered in your pursuit of power. Anus said. The Spartas. Kabuto nodded. Correct, I need all of us to work together to bring down the Spartas, all of which are still alive by the way, so Arkham and Sid, you two will work together to defeat Virgil. Sanctus and Anus, you two will deal with Nero Sparta. As for me, I will deal with Dante, and together, we will deal with his successor, Naruto Uzumaki. He has been trained by all three of them in their arts and also a part of this world, making all of our skills to take him down. Sanctus replied, why should we trust you, Kabuto? Because, I am your only shot at taking down your enemies. I have no qualms about you all pursuing your paths to power. Just that I get my revenge against Naruto Sparta for killing my master, although I suppose I have to thank him as well. I would have never had gotten this powerful without him. Arkham was silent for a moment and replied, in order for this to work, we will need more people in case, no doubt, the Sparta made allies in this world as well. Kabuto smirked, not to worry, I have that covered. He snapped his fingers and several figures came out of the shadows to greet the five. May I introduce Guren, Raiga Kurosuke, Kiminaro Kagaya, Kakuzu, and my revived subordinates, Sakin, Ukin, Jirobo, Kitamaru, Danzo Shimura, Hizashi Hyuga, Hanzo the Salamander, Amayuri Ringo, Tatewaki, Pakura. Mangetsu Hazuka. Sid grinned. Then we are in business, gentlemen, let's cause chaos. Meanwhile in Konoha, Naruto stated, on that last mission, it seems that my power has been waning down a lot. I mean, it took me longer than usual to beat Cerberus and it took you only about 3 minutes while I took 10. Virgil closed his eyes for a brief moment and stated in his usual cold drawl, it is very possible that your parents actually caused this to happen for you. What do you mean, Virgil? I mean, when you conquer an actual devil and turn said devil's soul into a devil arm, the soul wavelength slowly changes itself to match your own soul wavelength as well. Right now, since your wavelength has so many devil arms attached to it, it is taking a bit longer for you to adjust to any new ones. The Jinchuriki replied, I see, so then I better take my time in collecting the others, I take it. That is correct. Well, then I better up the ante on my training then. Naruto said in a serious tone and went straight to the training grounds to do things with his weapons of mass destruction. Virgil looked at the sky and a strong breeze blew through the village, but the Batojutsu practitioner's cold gray eyes narrowed as he thought, this wind, something is wrong, terribly wrong, and I have a distinct feeling that we are at the center of it. Later, Naruto was on his way back to his home when suddenly the ground shook and the Jinchuriki cried out, what the hell is going on? He looked up at the forest of death and a loud boom occurred that sprang out of the center, destroying the small tower, and in its place was a bigger, stone tower ominously rose over the village. What the fuck is that? Ah, shit, I thought we dealt with that damn tower years ago. Dante said as he walked up beside his fellow devil. What is this tower? Asked Naruto. Soon the residents of the Namikaze household came up and Kasumi whispered, the Temen ni grew. The Temen what? The Biju woman turned to her lover. The Temen ni grew was a holy tower constructed by those who worshipped Mundus. When Sparta discovered this tower many years ago shortly after he rebelled against Mundus, he chose to seal it away with his blood, his power and the blood of a pure priestess. Dante took over. It had been resurrected just when I was starting to open my shop. Virgil and a sick bastard named Arkham awakened the tower. Dear older brother wanted to claim dear old dad's power. Arkham, of course, wanted the same thing, but he had to play around to gather all of us in one place to awaken the tower. Virgil spoke up as he walked up. Arkham played us for fools and manipulated us to awaken the tower and got our father's power, but in the end, we defeated him despite him having our father's power. Sakura inquired, but who was the pure priestess? We know that both of you have Sparta's blood and power, but what about the pure priestess? Lady was a descendant of a priestess and Arkham used her for that purpose. Virgil replied, and at that moment, Naruto cursed, shit. With that, he rushed off through the village as one thought lingered in his mind, Tenten. Tenten was with her team, returning from a mission and trying to ignore both Lee and Guy's eccentric outbursts of the flames of youth. I really don't know how much more I can take without shooting them, Neji. She said, gritting her teeth. Trust me, Neji replied silently, the feeling is mutual, but just do what I do, hum a song in your head or imagine yourself beating the crap out of the both of them. Tenten smirked and laughed a bit at the thought of it until a red barrier surrounded them. Tenten's eyes widened. Oh shit, as the words appeared out of her mouth, several blood boils came into existence. What the hell are these things? Neji shouted in surprise and Tenten's brown eyes changed from the heterochromatic red and blue while she touched a seal on the back of her neck. These are demons and specifically they are called blood boils to be clearer. With that, Tenten moved forward as she thought, but usually those types of demons are settled in Iwagakure, so why are they here? Neji looked over at Tenten, so this barrier, it is just like your fight with Naruto-san, am I right? Yes, so I need you guys to stay back or else you guys might get hurt. Tenten replied as she unsealed her weapons. With that, she acrobatically took out her guns and shot every blood boil in her path only to curse as she realized that she was not destroying them, but caused them to reproduce asexually. Alright, guns don't cut it, but what about sharp objects then? Tenten thought to herself as she charged speedily as she flung shuriken at the blood-filled gargoyles. The shuriken hit them, turning them into stone, and she smirked as she took out Kalina and to launch a missile at them to destroy them. Well, that was exhilarating. Tenten said with a weary chuckle, ahem, shall we then? The rest of Team Guy nodded dumbly and followed Tenten until a shot rang out loudly, hitting through her shoulder. Tenten cried out in pain as she fell to the ground, but a man came to her position and slung her over his shoulder. We got what we came for, cover our escape. The man said, and a pack of Emsira came into existence as Guy shouted, Tenten. The Emsira blocked Guy's path, but he let out a savage kick to the one in his way and sent it sprawling to the floor. With Guy's cry of outrage, Neji and Lee acted with ferocity, attacking the monkey-like demons, but soon they were surrounded until a hail of bullets came down on the Emsiras like fire and brimstone. Naruto knelt to the ground with his guns out. Where is Tenten? Some mysterious guy took her. What is going on here? One of the Emsira got up and looked at Naruto wobbly. Greetings, descendant of Sparta. That voice, I know it. Naruto narrowed his eyes. Kabuto, so you were behind all of this then? Of course, you ruined my chance to learn all of my mentor's skills and yet you killed him. So I am going to take my time in destroying you along with your friends. How did you know how to resurrect the Temen ni grew? I don't. That accomplishment is given by Arkham. You see, I have taken something that is precious to you and you have to get it back by any means necessary, but you will be the leader. I feel that the new generation should get through this, so no Dante, Virgil or Nero, I will see you then. Cuckoo. Naruto angrily shot the Emsira and growled in anger, I will play this game with you, Kabuto, and when I win, I am going to make sure you die and you will pay for what you have done. He turned to Team Guy, let's return to Konoha, I will have to explain everything there. Later, at the Namikaze compound, the Rookie 9 and Team Guy along with their senseis, Jiraiya and the Hokage. Tsunade mused, so only you guys can get through the barriers to get our shinobi back. Naruto nodded, that is true, according to what Kabuto said through that demon. I wonder how the hell he managed to resurrect Arkham and all of Dante, Nero and Virgil's past enemies without their bodies. It isn't common knowledge to know all of this. Nero growled, it is most likely that Kabuto had help from a high-ranking demon that wants revenge against us. I just can't believe that we have to sit here and do nothing to help out at all. Virgil was silent for a moment and voiced, maybe not, Naruto, you will need to give each of your friends a devil arm. It is the only way for them to survive this ordeal. We will have to train them to use them to the fullest. Virgil replied to the youngest Sparta, then we have no time to lose, we need to get them up to speed before any damage is done. Then he smirked, and I know just the place. Where else than hell itself? Virgil said as he opened a portal and turned to them, your friend's fate rests with this decision, are you all up to the task? Naruto turned to look at his team, Team 8, Team 10 and Team Guy, do you all would like to do this? Sasuke walked up, I think I speak for all of us, Naruto, but we are with you all the way, you have done a lot of things to help this village and us as an extension. Now it is time to return the favor, I am in. Following, Sakura walked up beside him, as I am. Choji smiled, let's go. Ino nodded while Shikamaru said with a small smirk, troublesome. Lee shouted, Yosh, let's go save Tenten. Neji crossed his arms, we have wasted enough time, let's get out of here. Dante smirked, then it is settled, let's ride through the gates of hell. With that, the Spartas along with the Rookie 9 and Team Guy into the portal of hell to prepare to fight the demons that Kabuto unleashed. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, comment and subscribe as well as checking out the author on fanfiction.net.